Study design basically related with the epidemiological study designs. Basically, in the medical research, there are three components of medical research. One is the epidemiology, the research methods, and the biostatics. So you should be, all of you should be familiar with these two components. And today's discuss we which study design is suitable for your objective is if you are going to do any type of research. So this is very important because you have to choose this study design before start any research. The classification of study designs, we divide the study design classification into two big terms, two big classes. One is called the descriptive and other is the analytical. Further, we the descriptive study designs are further, they've got different types. One is the case report, case series, cross-sectional and longitudinal type of study designs. On the other hand, the analytical divide into observational and the experimental. The observational, including mostly the popular are the case control and the cohort studies, and experimental, including the clinical trials or community trials or field trials. So basically, the purpose of these two type of classification, the main purpose for the descriptive is to generate hypothesis. This is a foundation of any research. If suppose you are encounter with some diseases which is very rare or which is very new in the community, like in today's scenario, we talk about this COVID-19. This is almost a new problem, health problem in the worldwide. So first, you don't know what are the exact etiology, what are the risk factors, what are the different prognosis. So you have no any idea. So for this type of research, you first go for the descriptive types. You have to do research on the case series, different type of cases, and from which you make some fundamental types of foundation. So that's why you're basically going to generate the hypothesis. You are not the going to testing the hypothesis, but you are generating the new idea, new perspective of any rare disease or new disease. On the other hand, when you got some information from these studies regarding the new cases, then you go for the more advanced level to see the to test the hypothesis. Again, we have to divide it into observational and experimental. The most after this descriptive, the researcher's choice is to go for the observational type of study designs before going to do any intervention or experimental manipulation in research. So basically, you want to test the hypothesis. So this is the main purposes of different type of classification: descriptive, analytical. For any new disease or rare disease, you go first for the descriptive, define the patients individually or in groups. But when you got some information from that, you go one step forward. You have to test the hypothesis and see the what are the relationship between two different factors and what are the risk factors for their disease. This is a whole idea how you choose your study design regarding your research objectives. See, this is a pyramid. It shows that every study design has got weightage because every like in descriptive is got the less weightage than the observational. Again, the observational study design has got the less weightage than the experimental. So in the above, you see that the highest strength of evidence-based study is the systematic meta-analysis or systematic reviews. Then just below it is the randomized control trials. He has got the highest weightage, and their results are more precise, more accurate than the other descriptive or observational study designs. So from below you see that mostly research in medical research they do study some mostly in the laboratories. Then when got there some results, they go into the experiment on animals, and from that they generate different opinions and ideas among their uh, peer colleagues. Then after that, they go for the case series type of descriptive study design, case cross-sectional, the case control, and the quad. You can see that in the observational study design, including the quad and the case control, they are both observational, but the quad had more edge over the case control study. Why? We see it in the next slides. Why the quad is more uh, got the increasing evidence strength than the case control. Always remember that every study design has got own strength of evidence. Suppose one researcher is doing research on same disease and take the study design as case control, and the other researcher have to do the same study on same disease, but he choose the cohort study. So when the results come, the researcher which comes with the cohort, he has got the more weightage over the case control study researcher. So always remember that every study design has got the own weightage. You can understand the study design by objective or by the time frame. Suppose your study design is to just see the prevalence in the community or in the population. So for that objective, the cross-sectional study is quite better, because cross-sectional give you the overview of the population sample of a whole population. So the cross-sectional study, that's why also known as the prevalence study. But when you go for the finding the incidence level, incident rate, then the quad is the best one. This is the more powerful observational analytical study design. Then again, if you go for the to see the cause of the disease, again the cohort study is above all. Then below that is case control and some descriptive studies. Then again, you can see that you want to see the prognosis of a disease. Then again, cohort is the good one to choose for that purpose. And for the treatment effects or effect of the vaccine, then the control trial is a uh, good studies to choose for that purposes. So according to objective of any researcher, he or she decide about which study design is suitable according to its needs. Then come to the other perspective regarding the time frame. So again, when you want to see the effect of a risk factor or exposure on a person or population, and you want to see it in the future, this is called the prospective. So in that case, the prospective cohort is the good one. Cohort studies we divide into two: prospective and retrospective cohort. But Where have you got the good record system, good information regarding the previous exposure of a group of a student or the persons. So you can even do the quad study in the past, start from the past and follow in the current time or in the near future. So for that, the retrospective quad is a good choice. So always remember, quad is not only the prospective, but it is also a retrospective quad is present. When you have got the limited persons and you want to see the observational studies, so case control study is a good one. We discuss it later. The case control study is suitable in which situations. Then, if you want to see the current situation of population regarding the prevalences or the different type of burden of disease in a community or population, so cross-section study is suitable. Again, the longitudinal can be done for the future projections, and the control trials also do in the future for different purposes to see the effect of treatment or vaccine. So we divide the study design according to the objective and according to the time frame. I think the last lectures you have go through these descriptive uh, type of study design. First, we just go through uh, these is descriptive like case report. So it is a basically a detailed study of the case. Describe a single patient with an unusual features of disease or for the patient history. So case report is suitable when there is only one patient you found with a rare problem or with a new problem, which were not already reported in any type of books or under publications. In that case, you have to choose the case report. Suppose you are sitting in a hospital or clinic and you find that a new type of disease you found in a person. So it was not described before that. Or you see the old disease with some new symptoms. So for that you go for the case report. The case series is somewhat same as case report, but here difference is in the collection of groups or the number of patients. If there is a more than one patient with the rare disease or new disease, so you can choose for the case series. So case report and case series is just like same, but the difference in the number of patients. Subject selection: investigators select individuals with new disease or unusual presentation of known disease. For example, suppose you have seen this some HIV patient, and you have find that some unusual rashes or something else which was not reported before. So in that case, you want to report or you want to share your information with others, and for that purpose, you select this case report or case series. But the problem is here, there is no measure of frequency because there is no other group uh, to share them or to as a control group to make the comparative studies. So there is measure of frequency is none. The measure of association also none because there are no any other control groups. We are just encounter with one patient or group of patients. The level of analysis is individuals. Okay. Advantage is the recognition of new cases. I told you in the classification. These descriptive studies are basically the generation of hypothesis. They are not testing the hypothesis, but they want to give the idea of new foundation in the research. You can do the foundation of hypothesis regarding possible risk factors. This is a good example for these case series and case group. The HIV, the patient was not diagnosed with HIV before because number of groups, patient with this fungal infection of pneumonia, young patient was reported, and after that they found they are related with the HIV or AIDS. Before that, and I think it happened in 1980s. Then after that, they find the AIDS or identified these diseases. The disadvantages cannot test for the statistical association because we have not any control groups or comparative groups. This is the example. We discuss it later. Then the go for the another descriptive study is a cross-sectional study. You have when go for the different classification, cross-sectional study always make confusion because in some studies they put in the descriptive and in some classification they part of the observational study because cross-sectional study is depend because it got many types. Some studies are only the descriptive, but in few cases you can do the cross tabulation or some making some analysis from that. So in some classification you found that cross-sectional study also put in the observational and analytical study. So don't be confused. It actually they depend upon the type of the section, cross-sectional study. Okay. These mostly we see that the different type of surveys and prevalence studies they are all cross-sectional. It is the simplest form of observational study. It is the weight of evidence is less than the case report or case control groups or case control study designs. So it is the weakest of you can say that it is the weakest observational study. But in the descriptive, it has got more advantages over the case series and the case reports. So based on a single examination of cross section of a population at a single point of time, because mostly we done it in a current time. We not do then forget the information from the past or we follow them in the future. We just do the study in the current time, present time. For that, you just select the time period for 1 week or 1 month or 2 months. So this is a current situation. But when you follow for many years or for many months, so you choose the quad study. So basically, this is mostly see the situation of a current time or present time. Also, there is a snapshot study because mostly these study gives you the current picture of a population. So this is also known as a snapshot. Another the name of this study is the prevalence study. So cross-sectional study can be known as the snapshot or prevalence study. So these is all our names are related with this cross-section. The results can be projected on the whole population with correct sampling. This is the presence of the health outcome at that point of time without regard to the duration. So in cross-sectional study, you may can get some information, but you have no any evidence for that. You can see that you can found that suppose you are going to do study on hypertensive population persons, and you found that there is also their the uric acid level is high, but you does know didn't know that it is due to the uric acid which increase the blood pressure, or it is the blood pressure which increase the uric acid. You cannot be get the result from this study. For that, you need the what type of study designs. It's just you give the picture, but it is very important to use to evaluate the health needs of a population. You can see that because it gives you the whole population picture how many persons are diabetic, how many persons are hypertensive, how many smokers and the cancer patients or other disabilities. So it gives you the whole picture of population, and it is very good for planning and allocation of health resources. So mostly the governmental authorities, when they got the allocation of resources for on the health or public health, so they need this type of cross-sectional study to see that how much health need is should be allocated for the population. This is a snapshot picture. It gives you the current situation of a population and a community. This is how you can go to do this type of study. Once you got the sample from population, target population, then you find diseases, then you find asking about the exposure or no any exposure in disease person. And on other same, the disease non-disease person, you find the exposure and no exposure. So basically, it's a 1 point time evaluation of a population in a short period of time. I told you the cross-sectional studies are many types: descriptive, analytical, because sometimes you can see that cross-section also the part of observational studies. It depends upon the type of cross-section study. So just we go through in this the subject selection. The investigators select individuals who are the members of population, then measure of frequency, prevalence of the specified outcome, and prevalence of the exposure or the exposure of characteristics. In comparison of the made of association or comparison of prevalence of the exposure among those with and without the outcome. The level of analysis, the individuals again. This is an example of cross-sectional study, but we just go through the advantages. It is easy and rapid. Can study multiple exposure at the same time. Good for describing the magnitude and distribution of health problems. These are the advantages when you go for the cross-sectional study. Disadvantages: cannot calculate the incidence and do not establish the temporal sequence of event. The temporal sequence, that word temporal means in how much time taken by a risk factor to do some type of study or some type of disease. Because suppose I give you example, someone is starting smoking from today, so he will not get this cancer in within 1 year. It depends upon the duration, how much the persons take that smoking, and how much the amount of that smoking, number of cigarettes. So this is the timeline which takes the risk factors to do some disease to develop some disease in a person. This is called the temporal sequence. Okay, but you don't know which come first. Either it is a uric acid is causing the blood pressure, or it is a blood pressure which causing the uric acid. Which come first, chicken or egg? This is the example for cross-sectional study. Disadvantages: what come first? We know which come first. For this example, the osteoarthritis is a cause of obesity, or because it is obesity which is that develop the osteoarthritis. So you don't know by doing the cross-sectional study. For that, you need some like case control study or cohort. From this study, you cannot evaluate which come first. but you can see that these both things are mostly together. This is a knowledge attitude practices surveys. This is mostly again this is a type of cross-sectional study, and this is a popular one among the students who do the CAPE surveys. It is they easy to handle and uh, can be done in the small period of time. Different type of CAPE surveys. Then there is the ecological studies. The ecological studies are again the type of you can say that it is a type of descriptive, but some evidence based, because in this you cannot go for the individuals like in the cross sectional or case series, but in this you go for the whole population or big population, and you compare two population like population of two big cities by getting the information regarding some exposure. Like suppose you want to compare the uh, the cholesterol levels of Karachi cities and the cholesterol levels of Lahore, ठीक है, among the young groups. So you go for the consumption of the uh, edible oils or other ghee, butter. So you get information how much consumed by this population. So this is a rough idea. You can find out that which factor is more uh, important to do the further investigate them. So this is a comparing of the big populations. This is relatively inexpensive because you don't encounter with the individuals or in the community. You just go for the information from different sources to find out to get that the consumption of different things like consumption of the salt among different two cities. Even you can do on the country to country comparison. So the information already collected, you just want to gather and find out according to your objectives. Again, this is also the generating hypothesis, not for the testing the hypothesis. So it is we put it into the descriptors. These are advantages and disadvantages. We do not do the calculate the dose response relationship. This is a summary of descriptive studies. Now go for the analytical. In analytical, I told you the most the popular are the case control studies and the quad studies. Okay, case control study you find out the cases first. We have got already developed disease. For give, for example, the lung cancer patients. So you want to see the association of the smoking and with the lung cancer. You just go for the find the lung cancer patient, and you need a comparison group or control group. Then get the information about their past, how much they taking the cigarette smoking or what are the other reasons. So here you go the in retrospective way from current to into the past. So this is a retrospective study. I told you that cohort study are two types. One is the prospective and other is the retrospective. But the case control study is a purely a retrospective study. You only go in the one direction in the retrospective way. As you find out the person which already developed the disease, and you just need the controls. But the trick is in this type of study design is that uh, you have to do the proper matching for these cases, because in cases suppose a person is 50 years age with lung cancer, so the in the control groups you should take the same age group from the same community or same area for that to control to comparison. So matching is very important in the case control study, and it's very hard to find for matching. The matching in case control, the process